Welcome to SAISD News.
I'm Maddie McGuffin from Lakeview High School.
And I'm Trevino from Central High School.
We start off this episode at Rita Elementary, where students are utilizing iPads in the classroom.
Students in Miss Elliott's class use iPads to enhance what they are learning in both math and reading. Miss Elliott says the iPad apps help students learn concepts such as addition, subtraction, money, time, spelling, reading comprehension, and much more. She said that using technology like this helps make it easier for her students to remember what they are learning.
Sometimes when a child is really struggling with something like adding 10, for example, I can put that child on an iPad where he or she works strictly with adding 10, and it's so much fun. They get that game aspect of it, and they seem to remember it a lot better. So it really helps them with assessments or just working on worksheets.
Next, we visit a science class at Glen Middle School, where students use clay to simulate the rock cycle.
6th grade students learned how sedimentary and metamorphic rocks are formed and then used modeling clay to show the process and the product that comes from it. By using clay models, students were able to recreate a process that usually takes a very long time, which helped them to visualize the concepts they had learned.
With sedimentary rock, of course, it's weathering and erosion is the first step. So they had to weather and erode their little different kinds of mineral clay. And then they put them together, deposited them together in layers, and after the layering they compacted them, and then they cemented it all together. Then they cut a cross section and then drew those layers. But then finally after that, then we were going to take that sedimentary rock and we're going to make it into a metamorphic rock by using heat and pressure. So hopefully they learned the process of sedimentary rock formation and metamorphic rock formation.
Parents of Lee Middle School students recently learned how they can begin to help their children prepare for the future during the school's Coffee with the Counselors event.
Lee Middle School counselors spoke to parents about the upcoming Aspire test for the 8th graders, a test that will help students begin to discover what their career interests might be, which will help guide them in their course selection as they enter high school. Counselor Rachel Gandar said that it's not too early for middle school students to begin thinking about their future.
Today we met so that those conversations can begin at home, and they can start having those conversations about what do you think you might be interested in, start setting those goals. And you know, with Erin coming in, she can provide some of those opportunities in the community. If it's something like volunteering in the summer in the hospital as a candy striper or getting involved in that program, whatever it might be, and there's so many more programs and camps now than there was years ago. So it's basically, you know, allowing parents to know what's out there in the community as well.
SAISD Culinary Arts students were recently treated to a presentation by a very special guest.
Walter Scheib, who served as the White House chef from 1994 to 2005, visited San Angelo and spoke to students about his experiences cooking for Presidents Clinton and Bush. He also talked about his personal philosophies about the culinary business and told students that it's not just about cooking, but about making people happy.
I always ask young students, why are you in the business? And they'll come up with a number of answers. Oh, I love to cook, or I want to learn how to cook, I like to do nutrition, I want to have my own TV show, whatever it might be. And I always tell them that that's fine, that's the end game, that's not the reason to start. The reason to start, in my estimate of cooking, is it's a very social interaction. You're physically preparing something that isn't topically applied, it's physically internally taken in. So it's the most serious bond between a chef and a guest. But more than that, it's a tremendous emotional bond. You're feeding not just their stomach, but in many cases their spirit and their mind, that you really want to make them happy, make them feel good about themselves. So if you go into the attitude, I'm putting things into their body, but at the same time I hope to put something into their spirit. If they can keep that, I don't care if they're running a food truck, working in a hospital, working in a school system, that ethic is what we really hope that they'll take away from this.
And that concludes this episode of SAISD News.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.